Pound for pound, the whole project's probably the best cut of beef on the animal. I think it definitely should have been baking soda, and one of the most expensive. Making sure to get all nice and even around there. Yep, there it goes. I was given this as a gift, but I still better not f it up. Welcome back to Bourdain.
Everybody should know how to use a knife. Use everything, waste nothing.
Let's start at the beginning.
It ain't that hard, okay?
Hope you're doing well. My name is Mitchmai. If you are new to my humble channel and kitchen, I'm working through Anthony Bourdain's entire layout cookbook. Every freaking recipe for the first time. I'm doing it on camera and I mess up quite often, but it's fun and I'm talking a little too much. Today we're making Côte De Boeuf. It is prepared with the bone in. So it's very tender, it's very well marbled. I was fortunate to be given this by my butcher friend who is the homie. Now I do love Bourdain's little intro here, suggesting to serve this with French fries and a staggeringly expensive bottle of Burgundy in cheap glasses, just to show them who's their daddy. That's like, hilarious. I have Anthony Bourdain's cookbook linked down below in the description of this video, as freaking usual. Let's get moving on this big ass hunk of meat. I don't know if I can say ass on YouTube. Ass. Ass. Let's see if I get demonetized. So you may be wondering, where the hell is this cut of meat? It is in the oven. Our variation from Bourdain's recipe began yesterday. What we did was took the cut of beef, seasoned it very heavily with salt, put it in the fridge for about 24 hours. This way the salt penetrates the meat and the moisture comes out, resulting in a really nice environment for a crust. So once that is finished, Bourdain would have us quote the health department and let this beef sit out for about half an hour. But I'm going to reverse sear, putting it in the oven first and then getting a nice crust. I put it in the oven at 250 degrees with the idea to achieve an internal temperature of 110 degrees. It's been sitting there for half an hour. That probably has another hour to go until we get a temp of 110. In the meantime, we're going to make Béarnaise sauce, which Bourdain calls for, and I figure we make some house-made kind of baked up fries. So let's get moving with that. Quick little peel, nothing crazy. I actually want to leave some, okay, that's just marker. I want to leave some skin on there. Okay, nothing crazy there. Get this over there. Slice these up, initially slicing off an edge so we give ourselves a flat surface, and just go and slice these boys. Definitely a little thicker than your traditional fry. Cool, gonna get these off into some ice water, let them hang out, and bring a pot of water up to a boil. This pot of water I am going to heavily season with salt. And now I need your help, because I know with my ADD brain that we either need to increase or decrease the alkalinity of this water boiling our potatoes, thus creating a nice texture for them to crispify in the oven. However, I don't know if we achieve that with baking powder or baking soda. So if you could help me out, comment down below, that'd be amazing. Give it a little splash. Looks good to me. I don't know if we should have done that. I think it definitely should have been baking soda rather than powder, whatever. Really, I don't even know the difference between the two. So the idea here is to cook them until they're almost done, and we're gonna finish them off in the oven. While those are boiling away, we can make a reduction for our Béarnaise, which is in a small pot, a quarter cup of vinegar, and our tarragon leaves, about a half a teaspoon of cracked pepper, 1 shallot finely sliced. We're gonna bring this to a boil and reduce until nearly dry. Looking pretty amazing, you know, real quick actually. That is a hunk of meat, if I ever saw one. Again, looking for 110, so I'm gonna kind of insert it into the deepest part. So we got in there, pretty deep in there at about 106. I'd assume we really only need probably 20 more minutes in there. Get this back in our oven. That's breaking my wrist. Our shallot mixture is pretty much dry. You know, there's a little liquid in there. You can see that, but I'm pretty happy with how we cooked that. That lovely mixture is going to hang out on the side. So our potatoes are now probably where I want them. See how they're kind of breaking? They're just at the point of being pretty much done, and let them cool. Yeah, they might be overcooked, but you know what, that's okay. Yeah, definitely overcooked by Mitchell. Really, all that matters is I get a good thumbnail out of these. It's true, I hate it, but it's true. I low-key hate it. They've cooled off, they've dried off a bit. I'm going to dump them in a bolski. A little bit of olive oil. I love, that's avocado oil. That nice in there. And really give them a rough toss. create sort of a nice exterior like that. From here, I'm gonna toss them on our grate. They're very like delicate, very, very delicate. We'll see how those turn out. In our oven at 450 until nice and crispy. From this point, we can move on to our Béarnaise emulsion. In a warm-ish mixing bowl, we have our tarragon mixture. 2 egg yolks. Bourdain would call for 4, but again, we're splitting the recipe. Let's give this a nice stirration. Now these are gonna go over a double boiler. As you can see, that's not boiling yet because I'm kind of scared and hesitant of all this mess, but there it is. Pause right there, turn that off, let it kind of just hang out there. What temperature do we stand at? Whoa, Amazon tripods, never again. If we insert this bad boy in there, oh yeah, that's what I like, 110, 116, perfect. Gonna let this hang off on our burner. Keep our lovely boy warm, gonna tent real quick. Let's tackle this damn hollandaise, shall we? The goal is to whisk, whoa, that's interesting. We already curdled. I think it already curdled. To try and remedy this, I'm gonna add a little bit of water. Oh yeah, it's broken. Dude, the emulsions, they're very tough. So temperamental, so temperamental. It's like me in the morning. Basically, we're kind of trying to go against nature here, which is why it's so difficult. But yeah, you can see it's broke. It's actually kind of interesting how it's doing that, but live and learn. We curdled the egg yolks from the beginning. The whole project's to the end. Chalk that up for an L. Know this, if you haven't made Béarnaise from scratch before, you will surely this sauce up. Well done, sir. I just want to cook the steak. Just a dab of avocado oil. And not get this up to ripping hot heat. I'm gonna let it kind of hang out there and sear this fat cap we have. The fat, if not rendered, is disgusting. If properly cooked, is phenomenal. I'm getting hungry, thirsty, all of the 19 sensations. We're rendering out the fat so we can cook in said fat instead of using a bunch of olive oil or butter or something like that. I'd rather use the natural juices of the pork. Beef, sorry, pork. Got quite a lovely browning on this side. Now we're just gonna sear it. Making sure to get all nice and even around there. Yep, there it goes. Freaking knew it. Pretty amazing color. This is just going to rest for about 25 to 30 minutes so those juices can reabsorb. I do have a comment of the week from Mark Duback who said, I don't like this guy. Thank you, Mark. If you're into these videos, think about subscribing. YouTube did do a new thing where when you say subscribe, it probably happened already, but the little button underneath the video now glows. It means a lot when you support me, and give your feedback. Fire away with any little things you think that could help me. As far as plating, sans the Béarnaise, thinking we're going to slice along the bone, as everyone does, and then just slice in thick chunks, as Bourdain recommends. The fries, I think they're gonna be okay, but we will see. I couldn't resist just throwing the bone on there. You gotta include the bone. You know, the fries turned out crispy. The meat, it cooked out perfectly. Try a bite with my hands. I don't know why I used both hands like that. Definitely incredible. An interesting thing, it has an almost bacon-like flavor to it. I don't know where that came from. I mean, we did achieve a really nice crust there. So maybe that is attributing to that kind of rendered fatty flavor that I'm just not accustomed to with a traditional steak. We really did achieve a nice rendering of all that fat there. And it's just glistening, almost insulated by that fat. Thank you, Keegan, for buying me this. I have a lot of meat for a lot of time, and it's not ideal to be going on the Mediterranean diet at a moment like this. I have a video here to your right. If you're interested, please comment, fire away. Let me know what you think about how these videos are progressing, any critiques you have. Thank you for spending your time with me. This was another freaking episode of Back to Bourdain.
Stay organized and clean up after yourself. You do the best you can.